All right, in this video I'm going to show you the parts and components of the Steiner Tractor Parts JDS643 ignition plug set. So it includes two leads. This long lead, it's going to be cut, and then you use it for your coil to the distributor, and then this shorter cable, ignition cable, is going to be used on your other cylinder. This kit includes 4 contacts. So what you'll do is you'll use one for the distributor side. When you cut the larger one, you use it on the distributor side. Then you use one on the coil side, and then to the distributor side. And then you'll have to crimp and install a boot for the 4 different sides. So on the tractor, you'll have this center to the coil. That's the one that you're going to cut from the longer lead. Then you'll have one from the distributor down to the plug for either side. So it only includes 2 wires, but you'll make the 3rd wire, the coil to distributor, out of the longer length wire, and I'll show you how to do that here later in the video. All right, continuing on with replacing the plug wires on your 2-cylinder JD50. It might apply for other larger models, but first thing I started off with was removing the spark plug assembly, or wire routing assembly. So the top one is the left cylinder, right cylinder, and it's held on by this clamp. So this clamp is right up here on the water pipe. Then it has 2 bolts, or 2 nuts on the bottom. You undo those 2 nuts so you can remove the U-bolt. That'll allow you to take the whole tube assembly out. And then you want to disconnect your coil and 2 cylinder plugs. And you see how I have the coil disconnected. This is how you route them. So you'll want to install them from the obviously, since this end comes terminated, you'll want to feed the open end in through. And then there's a little pillow block here, this block will help guide the plug wires through without causing any chafing. But so let's see if I can, I'll set up the camera and show you how to feed these through. So here's a spark plug tube. As you can see here in the middle, it's got a little cutout. So you want to start with the unterminated end and feed it through. So we'll go backwards a little bit. In the tractor, you're looking forward. This hole is facing aft, or towards the driver. This is the left side, and then this is the right side. So the longer wire, which you'll have to cut to make the coil wire, you want to start on the right side. Feed it through. It'll show up in the end. You might need to get tweezers or a screwdriver or something to get it to come out. Feed it through. And these guys are within a couple inches of where the spark plugs are located, so you don't need to feed it all the way through so that it's up like that, because you won't be able to connect it to the spark plug. But you only need about 1 inch, if that. Feed it through. You'll feed the other one through. You might have a little problem because it'll want to go past, but this will give you enough length so that you can cut this one after it makes the distributor cap and have enough wire left to make the coil wire. So I'll continue on here in a second. So this is the entire assembly. The U-bolt, you'll put this on the bottom of the water pump shaft tube, then the U-bolt will come down into it, and then you have 2 nuts and washers on the bottom. That'll hold everything, and then you will run these over to the distributor and then terminate them, and then I'll show that here shortly. But that's what the assembly is going to look like. It'll be a little rotated. These guys kind of angle down towards the plugs on each side of the engine, but that's what the assembly will look like when you assemble it. You want to make sure you have just a little bit, maybe an inch exposed, and that's enough to get to the spark plugs. All right, so here it is. Everything's installed. As you can see, the guide tube comes almost straight out to the plug, so you don't need that much exposed. And then same thing on this side, it's pretty close. I'm running Champion plugs in here. I'm gonna put some auto lights in it, but these boots are a little, you can see they're a little tight on there, a little big, but they fit, they clip on. See if there's a better shot in here. So these nuts that hold the U-bolt are 7/16. So you just tighten those up until this guy doesn't want to move anymore, and that's all it is to install the guide tube. And so you can see here, this is the end that comes from the left cylinder, which is more than long enough. Let's see if I can get this in the shot, but that's how much extra wire you have. So if you're concerned, you have plenty to come up here to the distributor. See if I can show that. You have more than enough length cable kit in the kit to get to the distributor, and then to get back over to the coil. So don't be too concerned. There's plenty of length left in that. Where'd I put the package? In the kit. Steiner Tractor Parts JDS643 2-cylinder plug wire set. All right, well, we're continuing on with the installation of new plug wires on the John Deere 50. Put a little abrasion protection right here because the plug wires come out and they hit that part up there. That's nothing special. You could wrap it with tape or something just to prevent the vibration from rubbing through it. I've gone ahead and cut one of the leads so that it can fit on either the lower or upper for the left-hand cylinder, just in case I get my firing order wrong, which I believe it goes up here to the top. And then I haven't cut this other length, but I've made the coil. It uses a larger boot up here at the coil, and then this normal size boot down here at the distributor. So what I like to do is I actually install the boot first before I terminate and install the contact at the end of the plug wire. So I've stripped it maybe a 1/4 inch, and then I'll insert the contact over it. You want the conductor to penetrate through the contact, since that's what's essentially connecting everything, and that's going to touch the inside walls inside the distributor and allow the current path. So it doesn't take much. There's little prongs, as you can see, on the inside of these, so they really only like to go on, and then those prongs are kind of like a barb, and they'll prevent it from coming off. And you don't really need to crimp these on too much because they need to be kind of springy, so that when they're inserted into the distributor cap, that they are contacting the walls. So we'll go ahead and do that, show you that real quick. I'm going to put the camera down. So you can see here I have the conductors, zoom in, conductor inserted through the contact and then folded over, and then I can just take this boot. You can use a little dielectric grease. All I have with me is WD-40, so I'll lubricate it so it'll slide down. Don't pull too hard or you just rip it off, and then you'll rip this contact off and fold the little barbs over, and you'll have to do it again. So I'll pull that down, stab it on there, show you the install, and then I will trim this longer one. Probably have an extra maybe 1.5 feet on that. All right, I'll be back.